Hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm Mike.
Today is Thursday, January the 6th.
And you're watching the Home Team.
So let's get started. Okay, as the year 2010 come to a close, we want to do a slight recap and highlight some of the events that have taken place throughout the previous year.
We're going to call it this a year in review for us. This is one of our segments. One of the largest topics we had to discuss last year, as you all know, was the Deepwater Horizon oil disaster we had. That's a pretty big thing nationwide and locally. Fortunately for us, we didn't have much action down here on our beaches. The Lord blessed us at that, I'd say. We came out unscathed pretty much.
Right now, throughout the year, the home prices were up slightly and the condo prices were down a little bit.
Another thing was the commercial building was up here in our area, also in Niceville where I live. We had the Walmart is complete now. Everybody's going in there and starting to do some shopping. We had a Lowe's and a Home Depot. The Home Depot's partly completed.
As far as our overall conditions with the weather, hey, we were blessed by not having any hurricanes, not even really any major tropical storms. So our beaches look great. Area's still beautiful. Really blessed in that area.
Rained a little bit today, but everything else been pretty nice. Another item I'd like to touch base on was our local Destin fish rodeo, and it kind of got unscathed as well. We were really lucky there. A lot of nice fish were brought in. A lot of camaraderie went on. There were several large record-breaking fish that were caught down there too, so we were tickled to death. We're blessed there in that regard as well. Some
of the events that took place throughout the year, we had free local concerts right on the beach featuring the Doobie Brothers, Leonard Skinner. We also had the Seafood Festival that featured Loverboy.
We're not too sure if any of these free concerts are going to continue, but we wanted to kind of throw that in, and that kind of wraps up our year in review, folks.
Okay, as I mentioned before, the home prices were up and the condo prices were down, but what we want to do is give you the entire year stats for Destin area, both in homes and condos, for the year 2010.
I'll take the ones that dropped and give Paul the glory here. I'll take the condos. In 2009, the condos were selling for $378,000 plus or minus a couple dollars. And in 2010, they were selling for $341,000, and they had about a 10% drop, and the homes were a little bit better in that regard.
Now, as far as the homes go, in 2009, the average price was $377,500 and some change. In 2010, there were $454,800. So we had a 17% increase in home sale prices as a whole throughout the year.
So it looks like the homes stabilized a little bit and started turning around, where the condos took a little bit of a drop. So you kind of have to, flip a coin and see which one you want to participate in, but you've got the numbers. You make the call.
Okay. One other topic we want to talk about, something we're real proud of. We just got word on it yesterday, matter of fact. But for the year 2010, our Destin office was the #1 office in the entire Board of Realtors on the Emerald Coast.
That is nice. And it comes from a lot of hard work from all of us out there. I mean, we've got a pretty good office here, a lot of nice agents, but everybody's getting out and working hard, and this seems to be a great spot to be too. There's a lot of camaraderie here. We get along well in the office. It's a top-notch office.
Okay, as we wrap up the year 2010, before we get into the next year, Mike's going to talk a little bit about some of the sideline events that have also taken place.
One of my favorite things here is football. I can't believe, just coming from the West Coast, coming out here, that the SEC is such a monstrous thing. But we all have our own favorite teams, and I don't want to offend anybody here, but the Gators won the Outback Bowl. They wound up winning 37-24 after coming back from a 17-14 deficit at halftime, and gave Urban Meyer a nice way out. And I was pretty proud of those guys. And let's not forget to mention the Crimson Tide too. They put a pretty serious whipping on Michigan, 49-7. So anyway, I thought that was pretty good in the Capitol Bowl. They just put the Spartans in another planet. Anyway, that was exciting for me. But we also don't want to forget about FSU. The Seminoles came back and put a pretty good whipping on South Carolina too. So anyway, these guys around here look pretty good. And I remember on the West Coast we did a little bit of college football out there, but wow, out here is just out of sight. So
what that means, next year is going to be that much more exciting as well. Thanks a lot.
Hey, one thing I don't want to forget too, what about all these local Louisiana folks? How about those Saints? They're in the playoffs again, so let's root for them too real hard. We love those guys too. To wrap up here, I think I want to mention just a little teeny bit about 2011. One of the things that came out for record now, the unemployment was down for the first time in 4 years. And that seems like a real good sign for our 2011 economy. And also, a new bill has been recently passed to speed up the short sale process. This is going to work out real well for the investors out there too that want to take a chance on these. These have been taken anywhere from 3 months to a year, and they're supposed to streamline it down to a 60-day process. So hopefully we'll kind of get involved in that this year and see how it happens, and we'll keep you abreast of that too, how it turns out.
And also, even though interest rates had a slight spike, we're still under the 5% mark. So we have a lot of positive outlooks. There's a lot of positive feelings in the air for 2011, so we're very optimistic, and we're going to look for a great season.
We'll wind up on a good note. In closing, we want to thank all of you for joining us today.
Keep in mind, if you find this information useful, know somebody who could use it. We always like our family growing, so be sure to forward it and have them subscribe and be a member of our team.
Check out our surveys and banners. They're always at the right-hand side. You can click on those and get some more information for other related items.
Keep in mind, right down here on the left-hand side, the banners, the stats for last year, which covers the months by the sales by month, both for homes and condos, is all right there in a PDF, so you can print those out, so you don't have to, try to remember those numbers we had.
Don't forget to look at the photography banner also. If you have any weddings planned out here, make sure and give us a call. Paul's Little Bride does a super job out there.
And keep in mind, if you're planning on buying or selling real estate,
come see the Home 10.